In 2014, a truly extraordinary case unfolded in Huzhou City, Zhejiang Province. It began with 3 love-struck men driven to extremes by their passion. One abandoned his wife and children to divorce, another squandered his entire fortune, while the third discovered his live-in partner had been unfaithful. The situation escalated when all 3 men arrived at the police station, vehemently arguing over who was the real father of their supposed girlfriend's unborn child. The most shocking revelation came when it was discovered that their so-called girlfriend was actually a biological male, who was nevertheless pregnant with twins, 1 boy and 1 girl. In May 2014, the Zhili Town Police Station in Huzhou City, Zhejiang Province, received a report from a man named Zhong Qiong. He claimed that his fiancée, Chen Yuhua, had been impersonating a military officer while simultaneously dating multiple men, all while pregnant. Impersonating a military officer is no small matter under the law. Following Zhong Qiong's leads, the police used technical tracking to locate Chen Yuhua and immediately went to the scene. When officers found Chen Yuhua, she was sitting in a tea house, visibly 5 or 6 months pregnant. The police asked whether she was an active duty or retired soldier. Without hesitation, Chen Yuhua claimed she was a veteran and even cooperatively produced her military officer's ID. However, one of the officers happened to be a former serviceman himself and was very familiar with military credentials. He noticed that Chen Yuhua's ID had expired 3 months prior, on February 18, 2014. When questioned, she explained that she was on maternity leave and hadn't gotten around to renewing it. But something else seemed off. The seal and patterns on the document looked unnatural. Suspicious, the officer began testing her knowledge. According to the ID, Chen Yuhua was supposedly an executive at Nanjing Military District General Hospital. The officer asked her who the hospital's director and political commissar were, basic facts any real officer in that position would know. Yet Chen Yuhua couldn't answer either question. Given these inconsistencies, the police concluded that Chen Yuhua was indeed impersonating a military officer and took her into custody. Back at the station, to verify her identity, the police contacted the military's political department. After thorough checks, they confirmed that no one named Chen Yuhua existed in their records. Faced with irrefutable evidence, Chen Yuhua stopped lying and admitted to the impersonation. But then, another man stormed into the station, causing a scene and demanding the release of his pregnant girlfriend. After persistent questioning, the police learned his name was Wang Bin, and shockingly, his girlfriend was also Chen Yuhua. Wait, wasn't Zhong Qiong her fiancé? To better understand the situation, the police summoned Zhong Qiong to the station. Unexpectedly, upon arrival, Zhong Qiong's first action was to engage in a heated argument with Wang Bin over who was the real father of Chen Yuhua's unborn child. Their dispute grew increasingly intense. Meanwhile, Chen Yuhua remained uncooperative during police interrogation. Only under mounting pressure did she finally reveal her secret. In the interrogation room, Chen Yuhua lifted her clothing and removed a fake pregnancy belly. Actually a cloth bag stuffed with padding material she had purchased online. The shocking revelation that her pregnancy was entirely fabricated left everyone present stunned. Yet Chen Yuhua remained remarkably composed. She then disclosed her real name to the officers, leading to an even more astonishing discovery. Police records showed Chen Yuhua had multiple prior offenses, having been administratively detained twice before for impersonating military personnel. The first incident occurred when she presented a fake military ID at a hotel check-in, and the second when she attempted to obtain free medical treatment using the forged credentials at a hospital. The most unbelievable revelation came when official records indicated Chen Yuhua was biologically male. This raised crucial questions. How had Chen Yuhua convinced both Zhong Qiong and Wang Bin that she was not only female but also capable of pregnancy? How had these relationships progressed to the point of marriage discussions? Through interrogations of Chen Yuhua, Zhong Qiong, and Wang Bin, the police gradually uncovered the complete truth behind this extraordinary case. The entire case traces back to Zhong Qiong. He was originally married, but constant arguments over trivial matters with his wife left him frustrated and suffocated in their marriage. At the end of 2013, after yet another heated fight with his wife, Zhong Qiong retreated to his room and began browsing on his phone. Using WeChat's Shake feature, he connected with a stranger whose username was Starlight at fingertips. Judging by the name, Zhong Qiong assumed she must be a gentle and affectionate woman. They struck up a conversation, during which he learned her name was Chen Yuhua, a military doctor with a PhD. Impressed by her credentials, Zhong Qiong quickly grew interested. Over the following weeks, they frequently confided in each other on WeChat, exchanging sweet nothings and sharing daily life updates. Gradually, Zhong Qiong developed feelings for her, to the point where he needed to chat with her every night before he could sleep peacefully. After some time, Zhong Qiong invited Chen Yuhua to meet in person. They agreed on a cafe. When they finally met, Zhong Qiong was surprised to find that Chen Yuhua stood half a head taller than him. Though slightly embarrassed, he couldn't help but admire her impressive stature. Chen Yuhua's delicate yet charming features, paired with her soft and pleasant voice, completely captivated Zhong Qiong. Within just 2 hours of meeting, he was utterly smitten. That evening, following the natural progression of a romantic date, they ended up at a hotel. However, when Zhong Qiong attempted intimacy, Chen Yuhua insisted they turn off the lights, claiming she was too shy otherwise. Zhong Qiong obliged, and they spent the night together. After that blissful evening, their bond deepened. But when Chen Yuhua later learned Zhong Qiong was married, she grew upset, refusing to be the other woman. She distanced herself, giving him the cold shoulder for days. Desperate not to lose her, Zhong Qiong promised Chen Yuhua he loved only her and would divorce his wife. Reassured, Chen Yuhua gradually warmed up to him again. To prove his commitment, Zhong Qiong even bought an apartment under her name as their future marital home. Once everything was settled, he swiftly divorced his wife and moved in with Chen Yuhua. After a period of happiness, Chen Yuhua suddenly announced she was pregnant, with twins. Overjoyed, Zhong Qiong nearly cried at the thought of becoming a father. But his excitement was short-lived. Chen Yuhua explained that, as a military officer, unwed pregnancy was a punishable offense. Concerned, Zhong Qiong asked how he could help. Chen Yuhua reassured him that she just needed to complete some paperwork at her base. The next day she left with her luggage, and 20,000 yuan in travel expenses that Zhong Qiong gave her. After waiting anxiously for half a month, Zhong Qiong finally welcomed her back, only for her to announce she had to leave again, this time for advanced studies in the US. Heartbroken, Zhong Qiong's excitement dimmed. But Chen Yuhua comforted him, saying she would return. Naively reassured, Zhong Qiong bid her farewell once more. During her time abroad, Zhong Qiong constantly worried about her, sending over 30,000 yuan in living expenses to support her studies. But then, without warning, Chen Yuhua vanished. Her phone disconnected, her WeChat inactive, as if she had disappeared from the face of the earth. Just as Zhong Qiong was losing hope, he received a call from a stranger named Wang Bin, who angrily demanded to know his relationship with Chen Yuhua. Zhong Qiong declared he was her husband, only for Wang Bin to roar back that he was the real husband. Stunned, the two men compared their experiences with Chen Yuhua and realized, to their horror, that their stories were nearly identical. It was as if Zhong Qiong was Wang Bin's mirror image. It turned out that before meeting Zhong Qiong, Chen Yuhua had already been involved with Wang Bin. She had also slept with Wang Bin and claimed to be pregnant with twins. Overjoyed, Wang Bin had even taken her home to prepare for marriage. However, Wang Bin recently noticed Chen Yuhua frequently making secret phone calls. Suspicious, he checked her phone and discovered Zhong Qiong's existence, prompting him to call and confront him, only to receive an unexpected revelation. Now convinced that both he and Wang Bin had been deceived, Zhong Qiong recalled Chen Yuhua's claim of knowing a police station chief. He went to the station she mentioned, only to be told the chief had no idea who she was. This confirmed his suspicions, leading him to report the fraud. After reconstructing the case, the police detained Chen Yuhua. As the story broke in the media, it quickly sparked online controversy. In Hangzhou, a man named Mr. Li saw the news and recognized the suspect as his own pregnant wife. Coincidentally, the police also contacted him. Upon arriving at the station and reviewing photos and footage, Mr. Li confirmed that Chen Yuhua was indeed the woman he had married. He explained that she had claimed to be working out of town, never imagining she had two other men in her life during her absence. Mr. Li further revealed he had given her 80,000 yuan, nearly his entire savings. He also mentioned their marriage certificate, which Chen Yuhua had insisted needed military processing. She had taken the documents to handle it herself, only for it to turn out completely fake. The absurdity was undeniable. One man had divorced his wife for her. Another had married her. A third had lived with her. And all three believed they were the father of her unborn twins. But how had Chen Yuhua managed to maintain relationships with three men, even sleeping with them, without detection? The answer was her special skills. The reason Chen Yuhua was able to navigate between three men undetected largely stemmed from his unusually low levels of male hormones. According to police, he barely grew facial hair, unlike most adult males, and his Adam's apple was barely noticeable. Most crucially, his speech patterns, tone, and mannerisms were strikingly feminine, allowing him to pass as a woman at first glance. Adding to the deception, Chen Yuhua maintained an air of modesty around men. During intimate encounters, he avoided letting his partners touch certain areas, leading them to interpret his behavior as innocent shyness rather than concealment. This carefully crafted performance kept all three men unsuspecting. As for the exact mechanics of these encounters, police offered no further details. The motive behind Chen Yuehua's charade, once uncovered, bordered on the absurd. After dropping out of high school, he took odd jobs but was often mistaken for a girl due to his long hair and delicate features. Despite his looks, Chen Yuhua was lazy and constantly sought shortcuts in life. A past girlfriend had dumped him for his lack of ambition, and the rejection fueled his decision to pose as a woman, ostensibly to get back at society. Yet when confronted with the crimes, Chen Yuhua insisted he'd never exploited Zhong Qiong financially. He instead accused Wang Bin of using him for personal gain, a claim Wang Bin partially corroborated, admitting he pursued Chen Yuhua precisely for his fabricated military and academic credentials. Unrepentant, Chen Yuhua declared, "Every man I've been with wronged me first. If I weren't a soldier, they wouldn't have wanted me." The audacity of this defense bordered on farce. Though Chen Yuhua denied monetary motives, his actions undeniably constituted fraud. The court sentenced him to 5 years in prison, fined him 150,000 renminbi, and ordered full restitution of his ill-gotten gains plus compensation for the three victims' psychological trauma. While Chen Yuehua's story ended behind bars, the scars he left on Zhong Qiong and the others may never heal. The woman of their dreams had been a man, a revelation likely to haunt their future relationships. As the saying goes, online romance demands caution. True character reveals itself over time. Let this be a warning against reckless desire, lest it plunge one into irreversible ruin. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this case, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow Case Diaries. There are plenty more cases coming your way. Got thoughts on today's story? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. See you in the next one.